feel and you have a gut feeling that there's been a change in your child, a change in their behaviour, a change in the way they're acting either at home or at school, or they have different friendship groups, things like that, really to speak with your child and find out what's going on. And don't be afraid of contacting the police or children's social care, or speaking with a specialist charity like Safe and Sound to really kind of talk through some of your concerns and find out what's going on, because they may be able to help.
Keeping the lines of communication open between parent and child is really important. Talking openly about issues regarding SRE so that the child feels that they can approach the parents. But as a parent, sometimes it can be really difficult to know where to access help. You can go to the school can help you and support you in this. They've got staff there who are trained in SRE who can support you and your child. So you don't have to do this alone as a parent. Lots of support networks are out there, and as it's coming back into the school curriculum, there will be trained staff who can help you deal with these issues. So as a parent, never feel alone. There's always help out there for you.
Parents can also get support and advice from the police. For example, if you've found some images or something on your child's phone or on the computer that you're concerned about, it's important that you contact the police on 101. Children's social care, it's important that you contact them if you have any concerns about your child's safety.
So this is a very complex answer, because quite often when we talk about sexual exploitation, some of the behaviours that we might identify that you could be concerned about can also be very similar to behaviours that are kind of typical teenage behaviour. So the advice that I would give a parent is to potentially look at keeping a bit of a diary around what they're observing, what they think those behaviours are that are different. Contacting an organisation like Safe and Sound, explore your curiosities with an organisation that understands, so then they can give you the advice that you need and who else you could approach. If you've got a good communication with the school, don't be afraid to speak to their teacher just to see whether or not they're experiencing any of the same behaviours that you are and potentially got some of the same concerns. And finally, it's really important to try and keep a line of communication open with your child. So whatever it is, whether it's just asking them if they want a cup of tea or asking if they're okay, you know your child and you have to have confidence in what you're seeing.
So if you're a parent and you're concerned about your child, or perhaps other children that spend time with your child, one of the biggest things I'd say is to speak to your child's school. The teachers and the safeguarding leads at the school might be aware of other issues, and that your information might actually help them to make reports and share that information with other agencies that can actually do something to prevent more potential abuse happening to other young people. The other thing I'd say is that schools will be quite active around getting in training to help parents to be able to spot the signs more effectively. So I would strongly advise approaching your child's school to ask whether this is something that could be made available for you.
You could also contact your child's school to find out if there's anything they can help with. They may have specialists coming into the school like Safe and Sound to talk to children and young people about relationships.
It's about accepting that this is taking place. And not thinking that it isn't happening on your street or in your school. I think, if schools can go run workshops or whatever it is for parents to keep them up to date with what's happening on social media, how to monitor and set privacy settings for social media, how to understand some of the issues or some of the topics that young people are going through. That would be great, because then at least the young parents then will have some knowledge of the life or the world that their kids are living in, and it means then they perhaps can start that dialogue with that young person. It is taking an interest in what they're doing, it is taking an interest in the gaming online, it is taking an interest on who their friends are on social media. It is understanding what Snapchat, WhatsApp and all those other apps that they're going to be using, what they're capable of.
I think parents should be nosy. I think they should ask questions. They should have discussions with their child. They should have discussions with other parents. They should talk to their school. They should ask questions. They should post questions online. They should seek as much information as they can and take responsibility, increased responsibility in some circumstances, for taking those actions that they need to take. So if as a parent you buy a mobile phone for your child and you enter contact with them, what responsibility does that place, should that place on you making sure the right safeguards are in place, that there's the protocols for not downloading particular apps, etc, etc. And I think that's the same for any mobile device. If you're at that point for whatever reason that you can't communicate with each other, and it happens, I know that, you've got to find a route to keep the door open so that your child can come back to you and know that you will listen. And the other thing that you need to do is to make sure that you talk to somebody and you seek help. And there are organisations, specialist organisations, so the shortcut is Facebook Parents Against Child Exploitation. They have a fantastic website. You can talk to them. They have phone counselling, etc. And there are then other local organisations, your local school, your key safeguarding officer that you can talk to, and they will listen to you and they will give support and they will respond. And that also includes talking to the police and talking to somebody from social care. Those agencies are there to help you. They're not there to be obstructive and make your life more difficult.